Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in LeeAnne. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Join us live Saturday mornings between 9 and 10 a.m. in Fredonia, Mayville, and Silver Creek. Call in and share a thought or wish someone a happy birthday with Chautauqua County's only live on-air senior program. Reed continues in his 15th year with interesting guests expressing their viewpoints and informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And good morning. What a beautiful day, and somebody's scalping me in this lovely county of Chautauqua, which is so beautiful that in the analogs of the French who came here the first time, and they passed through, they said, "My gosh, it's the most gorgeous place. This is the Garden of Eden," and many of them lived here today, even today, relatives of theirs. And of course, they planted all that gold, which we have not found yet up in the hills. When they were being chased by the Brits, and they dropped a $1 billion worth of gold, or whatever it is, and it hid it away somewhere up in the hills around the gorge. Okay, we have a good show, a wonderful show coming on. We're going to talk about doggies, but we have some here, and they are performers, and we're going to have their trainer, who is LeeAnne Cogdill, give us some tips on how to train your pooch. If you want to train your dog, you can train him to do almost anything if you know how. And she's going to give you some hot tips on that. And she's going to click away. We also have a friend of hers, Jackie Grant, who's helping out, and Shelley Grant, who's helping out also. I want to say that the news going on is just horrific. I can't turn the TV on anymore for the news, but it doesn't matter. They don't tell us about the important things like the wars. They claim there's no inflation, so seniors don't need any inflation cola. They gave themselves a nice chunk, but no seniors. Don't worry, there's no inflation. Have you gone to the supermarket lately? Give me a break. You seen your tax bills lately? Give me a break. No inflation. I will not continue any further on that line. I get an email every week saying, "So everybody in Congress out. They're screwing the seniors." And I can use that term because George Bush uses it on TV. And I'll tell you something right now. Let God sort them out. I agree. At any rate, here we go. We've got a show coming up. And as far as that news is concerned, I've got some good senior news, but I'll touch on what's going on in Washington, which no one really believes. Obama's telling us, and their pundits are telling us, the recession is over. It was over actually almost over a year ago. There's no problem. Everything's hunky-dory. Another giant lie out of Washington, D.C. I cannot believe that. CRAP, they are trying to shove down our throats. In the meantime, anybody who's out of the many people up here in Chautauqua County, do you realize that we have another 50% of people on Medicaid up here? That means you can't pay your bills for you're bankrupt essentially. You have no money. You can't pay your doctors, and more and more people are going on the social services rolls up here, and it's the same all over this country. Whoa, the recession's over. You don't have to worry about a thing. Everything's hunky-dory. This is what we call phony federal figures. Okay. Now, of course, the wars we don't even talk about. We're getting killed over there in Afghanistan, bodies coming home galore, and people half blown apart. It's becoming horrific. It's just, and what are we doing it for? We're doing over there? Well, 3 different civilizations went in and tried to, including Russia, which went bankrupt, trying to, the last one, to civilize the Afghanistans. It's the most corrupt government on earth, and they provide 90% of the heroin in the United States and all over the world. And here's our model society. Give me a break. What's going on in Washington? They borrowed so much money, our great-grandchildren won't be able to pay it off. When you are born today, you have $30,000 in debt automatically. Washington, you've got to go. Enough said. Seniors. We got some great senior clubs up here. I got some notes here they sent us. And I want to also thank the Dunkirk Disturber. It's a great paper and has a good senior section. Although some people call it that. It's the Observer. And it's on Friday you get a great senior section. It tells all the local news. And if you're interested in us giving you your news, you have our number, 753-JACK. Like jack your phone in, jack rabbit, jackass, jack all kinds of things. You know what I mean. Jackass is an animal, actually. It's a legal animal. Jackrabbit, too. Okay. Dunkirk sends us a note here. They meet at the Dunkirk Senior Center, which is a fabulous place, an old school, and it's been kind of converted to seniors and other groups. And they have an indoor racing track. You can run around it in the winter, and it's just terrific. Or lope around it, or jog around it, or walk around it like I am now. I used to run, then I jogged, then I then I walked, and then I walked less as I grow older. I want to say the helper of the day over there, I got to give them a hand. The person that does the coffee and the cake is the most important person there. More important than the president, Loretta Hemmick, I might add. It's the coffee and the fellowship that takes place after the meeting. That's what counts. Of course, they always play bingo. Always. No senior center. They are not a senior center legally if they don't play bingo at the end of the meeting. September 28th. Is their next meeting. You'll meet Jim Griswold, who is the kitchen committee. He does the job. The Lakeshore seniors, who also meet in the senior center there in Dunkirk. They're a bunch from Fredonia area. The president, Charlene Hallmark, if you want to get involved, call her. She'll give you a word. And they have a great group. All these groups are terrific. Their next meeting, if you want to drop around, is September 29th, and you'll meet Irene Christopher, who is a celebrated member of our community. Sheridan Happy Seniors, I want to say that they have a program chairman there that is just fabulous. Great programs. They had CASA, which is a court-appointed group that takes care of children in need of supervision and help and assistance and mentoring and so forth. And they've been abused usually and neglected, and they may be in foster homes or protected living environments, which they need. It helps put them there. And if you want to help CASA, send them some dough. 2 Academy Street, Mayville, New York. Okay? I wanted to mention that one of their trips, the seniors have the greatest trips. They go all over the place for peanuts. Great people, and incidentally, the trips used to be open to only seniors in the club. Now they're open to seniors anywhere, and now, they have to fill the bus. And if they can't fill seniors, they put in juniors. Any kid can come, whatever you need. So you can always call if you see a trip mentioned in the paper that you'd like to go on, because it's a #1 class bus, first class travel. It's clean bathroom, the whole schmear, and as cheap as could be. They're going to the Crescent Inn for Christmas on December 6th, and they have room for a few more. October 12th, they're going to the Allegheny Casino, where they will not gamble. They will just use the free chips they get, see? And once you run out of them, if you win, you walk away. If you lose, you walk away. You don't gamble. Only people who make money in casinos are the owners. Never forget that. $25, and you probably get a lot of that back in lunches and chips. White Elephant Sale, October 15th, and they're going to have a special Halloween meeting at the October meeting, which means you better wear your costume, you witches and whatever you are, pirates. Gertie Cyber announced the 50-50 winners, Mary Joy and Marguerite Fancher. And incidentally, let's not forget the Riles and Woolley Prize. This is a great funeral home, That's where you got to be. You go to a senior center, Kitchen Committee for October 1st, their next meeting, Dolores Twiller and Mabel Warner, Berdilla Warner, and Dean Warner, all a family affair. The Stigger High Rise Tennis Association, they meet in Dunkirk, and they have a great group there, Gordon Rayner, and they get together. They're involved with their local church, and they're having a mass on October 15th, and it'll take place right in the community room. And David Berletier, who's the pastor of Holy Trinity Church, will come and celebrate the mass. And there will be no Sunday bingo until further notice. That's going to break a lot of hearts. They're having a Halloween party, October 31st in the community room at 7 p.m., dressed for the occasion. You know what I mean. Okay. They sent a bouquet of flowers to Frances Joan for her birthday on July 4th. That's a little while back. I wanted to mention that. Next meeting, October 15th, in the community room. They meet at 5:30 usually. And what a group that is. Now we have time is up. I just got this red light signal. I cannot have any more news. There is no more news allowed. Let's see how much pay. We didn't have too much. All right. We'll get the Westfield group in next week. Okay. I'm going to take a little break. I have a public service announcement for you, and then we will have the geezer who will come here, and he will shoot from the hip because he's very angry. Here you go. This is for you.
Give all my teachers a bad time. They all give up on me, except my English teacher.
8 years teaching English, 10 years in recovery for alcohol addiction.
When you get help, who knows just who you'll help along the way.
For drug and alcohol information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP.
No.
There you are. Here he is.
No.
Here's the geezer. Mark Wexler, you're on, Mark.
How in the world, Reed, could you ever describe me as angry?
The angry old man.
I haven't been angry since I left the military in what the heck was it, 43, 44?
Yeah, probably left 41, you know.
No, actually I came out, I guess, in 46. But
He was a pilot, but they never let him fly the planes, you know.
that's right, too. That did make me angry. I finished my pilot training in the Army Air Force when I was 19 years of age. And at that age, they wouldn't let me fly my own plane. I wanted to fly a P-38, which was a two-engine fighter plane. So what they did was they gave me a two-engine plane, 2 engines on my side. I was in a B-24, which was an outdated, overrated 4-engine bomber. Anyway, the heck with that. That's a couple of years ago. But you got my brain back in the past, Reed. It's tough to come back to the current days. You know, those days were a lot different, and in many ways, better. We didn't seem to be so money hungry. We weren't so sex crazed. I don't know. I think we were nicer people. Today, everybody's concerned for himself. Not his wife, not her husband, not their family. People are just interested in what am I going to do next? What's going to become of me? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have to remember we are part of a race of people. At this point in history, I'm probably related to everyone in the world. And more than likely, you are too. So how can we be so cruel to our relatives? You know, seriously, there are so many people out there, and now it's getting tougher and tougher. Having difficulty finding jobs in a democracy like ours, in a nation that's so darn wealthy. How in the world can we let a single person go hungry or go without the opportunity to earn a living? How about if we make today a special day, folks? Let's think about our neighbors. Let's not forget our loved ones, but let's think about our neighbors and some of the things they need to enjoy life as much as we do. Thank you, Reed.
Thank you, Mark. And the wealth is there. There's 2% of the people in the